So if you want to know the best weapons to use your Deepsight Harmonizers on in Destiny 2, I'm going to be going over that quickly here in this video. Now these are going to be weapons that you can't farm anymore, so current seasonal weapons as well as raid weapons won't be on this list. These weapons I'm talking about are only available through Banshee and Zer selling them. And to also mention, if you have a god roll of a weapon already, don't waste your Deepsight Harmonizers on trying to craft one. The enhanced perks don't make a huge difference, to be honest, but enhanced perks are still good, but I mean there's really no point in wasting the only 6 harmonizers you get on a weapon you already have a good roll for. So starting off first, we have Retrofit Escapade. Now this is what I tell people to save their Deepsight Harmonizers on the most, just because of how good this machine gun is. If you pair 4th time to Charm with target lock on this thing, it makes it a really good option for DPS as well as endgame content, or when you want to melt champions and clear through ads. This machine gun is one of my favorites in the game and pairs really well with void builds, especially when you pair it with your Falcons on Hunter. Weapon hasn't been sold yet, so we are waiting for that day to come, but when it does, definitely consider using your Deepsight Harmonizers on it and buying all 5 weapons you need in order to craft it. Next we have the Caustic MiniTool. This is a really good solar SMG and is one of my most used weapons in my energy slot. My favorite perk combination is Unrelenting and Incandescent. This SMG is an ad clearing machine and pairs really well with solar builds, especially when I'm on my Solar Titan. And it's just one of the more better feeling SMGs for PvE. If that fits what you're missing, definitely consider crafting the Caustic MiniTool. There are other solar SMGs in the game right now, like Bug Out Bag, that you can get. They have good perks like the Caustic MiniTool, but Caustic MiniTool is always a good option at the end of the day. Speaking of SMGs, there is also IQless SMG, but you can still get red borders to drop for IQless SMG. It is just very rare and very grindy. You could go months without even getting a red border. If you do want an ARC SMG, especially with how good ARC is this season, you can try to get your red border to drop instead of spending your Deepsight Harmonizers on this. But this SMG was too good not to mention, and I want to give a heads up that red borders do still have a chance of dropping for this weapon. I love this SMG. It's really good for PvP as well as PvE, and it's very reliable when it comes to those arc builds. And if you are into PvP, the opulence weapons are always going to be a good choice. If you want a good hand cannon, there's Austringer, but there are so many other hand cannons out there right now that this isn't a must-have, but it is still really good. It has decent perk options in the first slot. It has Eye of the Storm, Outlaw, and Snapshot sights. As well as in the second perk slot, it has Rangefinder and Opening Shot. Drang is another really good opulence weapon, and is one of the most powerful sidearms in the game that we have right now. It has decent perk options for both PvP and PvE. However, I don't find myself ever using it in PvE at all. If you play PvP often, you definitely have ran into your fair share of Drangs and been like, yeah, I definitely need to get that. So if you're looking for a good sidearm and a reliable sidearm, not only for PvP, but maybe for PvE as well, definitely consider getting Drang and adding that to your arsenal. And our last opulence weapon to talk about is Beloved. Now, I don't know if it's just me or what, but this sniper with quick draw and snapshot sights make me feel like a god when I'm sniping. The scope and the feel of this weapon for some reason just feels so smooth to me. And I suck at sniping, but when I have this sniper on, I actually feel like I can hit a shot. Definitely consider getting this weapon when you're looking to spend your Deepsight Harmonizers if you enjoy PvP. There are other really good sniper rifles right now that you can get pretty easily, like Adored, there's the new Comp Sniper. There's a lot of sniper rifle options out there, but Beloved is just a personal favorite of mine. If you like trace rifles and you want a really strong legendary that will mesh well with your arc builds, Path of Least Resistance will be a really good option for you. With how good double special is, I always find myself running a trace rifle this season. This weapon has some really good perk options on it for PvE worth mentioning. In the first slot, there is Shoot to Loot, Subsistence, and Triple Tap, as well as in the second perk slot, there's Bolt Shot and Dragonfly. This pairs really well with a 1-2 punch shotgun in your kinetic slot for those hunters out there with their Assassin's Cowl or large handshake build. Hollow Denial is also a really good void trace rifle, but I find myself using Path of Least Resistance more than that. But if you want a good void one, Hollow Denial is a good option as well. And for rockets, there is Bump of the Night, but truthfully, there are so many other rockets that you can get right now. I wouldn't even bother wasting your Deepsight Harmonizers on a Bump in the Night. But if you are set on having a Chill Clip rocket, you can focus this one. There is a Ghost of the Deep Dungeon. That rocket does have Chill Clip on it as well, and I wouldn't really want to waste my Deepsight Harmonizers on Bump of the Night. You probably won't use it too much, truthfully, with how many other rockets are, like Blowout, Hothead, the list goes on. There's other good rockets out there that you can use instead of this one. And that is going to be it for my list. Now, there are always other good options like Firefight, we have Disparity, Peace of Mind. These are just weapons I find myself using the most right now this season. I want to make a video going over my personal favorites. That's it for the video. If it did help, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one, alright? Peace.